Right, so welcome to our first topic. This week's topic, week one, is energy, the different forms of energy, and the law of conservation of energy. So after this topic, those are the things that we should have a little idea about. Now, we've been hearing the term energy all our lives, all right, and we know that energy exists in a number of different forms. But before we get into the different forms of energy, the first thing we need to know is how is energy measured? What is the unit of energy? The unit of energy, of course, is the joule. Joule, the joule, named after Sir James Joule. So don't worry too much about what I'm saying here in the video. I did, at the end of this video on the website, I have a summary of this video as well as the worksheet that you can complete. So at this stage, I'd just like for you to listen. So the unit of energy is the joule. Previously, in older times, the unit of energy was the calorie, or the caloric, and even today, the calorie is still used. So whenever you get some time and you're browsing, please check out Sir James Joule and his famous paddle wheel experiment. It may give you a bit of an idea about how the energy and the measurement of energy came about. Now, we know that energy exists in a number of different forms, and the most common form of energy that we know about, and the energy that powers the earth really, is that of the heat energy and the light energy that comes from, of course, the sun. In fact, the sun is certainly the source of almost all energy on earth. And that's why many cultures worldwide and so on would have worshipped the sun, all right, because it was considered to be the giver of life and energy on earth. So some of the different forms of energy, it could be heat energy, light energy, sound energy, electrical energy. Of course, we can't survive without that. Electrical energy. Other forms of energy are also kinetic energy, potential energy, right? Kinetic energy, specifically, and potential energy, very often fall under the category of mechanical energy. So if you're looking at a video online and you see mechanical energy, very often they're referring to kinetic energy because of the fact that it deals with motion. Kinetic energy, for that matter, is the energy that the body possesses because of its motion. So in this video and in the summary, you will be hearing me refer to kinetic energy, and it's just simply the energy a body has because of its motion. So anything that's moving has kinetic energy. Now, one of the things that we need to cover quite a lot in this video and understand quite clearly is something called the law of conservation of energy, right? And as the name suggests, it's a law, and this law cannot be violated, all right? Anywhere in the universe, this law applies, and it's something that a lot of people take for granted. They are able to regurgitate the definition, but they never really truly understand the implications of this law. So the law of conservation of energy says that energy cannot be created or destroyed, but can only be changed from one form to the next. And what does that mean? So first of all, we cannot create energy. All right, all the energy that we have on Earth has come from different sources. Right. I think the day we can create energy, humanity, of course, will be sustained forever, basically. And we certainly cannot destroy it. We can only change it from one form to the next. So let's kind of understand what I mean by changing from one form to the next. So one of the most common machines in your house, and yes, it is a machine, is the light bulb. Okay, so we do have these kind of soft orange, soft yellow light bulbs, the older ones especially, that have this little filament on the inside. And when you screw it into the socket and you put on the switch, it lights. And of course, the energy coming to light that bulb is electrical energy. But when that electrical energy flows into the bulb gets hot. We know that the bulb gets hot. It's actually very, very, very hot. And so it's not advisable to touch a bulb that's been on for quite a while, because it is hot and you can get burned. So the electrical energy comes into the bulb, right? The bulb's job is to convert this electrical energy to light. But in the process, not all of the electrical energy is converted to light. Some of it is also converted to heat, right? So none of the energy that was coming in, electrical energy that was coming to that bulb, has been wasted or destroyed. Some of it, of course, was converted to light, and the other was converted to heat. Now, the heat that has been produced by the bulb is sadly wasted. It's not going to be able to be used usefully, right? But as much as it has been wasted, right, it wasn't destroyed. The electrical energy simply was converted to heat. That heat was now lost to the environment, but not destroyed, right? It's just been converted to heat and has been taken away by the environment, right? So a bulb does that job. If we look at a generator, for example, generators are used to generate the electricity that we use today. So, for example, a large power generation plant or power generation company, major power generation company in Trinidad and Tobago is PowerGen. They use very large generators to generate the electricity that we use in our households. And generators often work with either diesel, some of them work with steam, and as well, a lot of these generators, the ones in PowerGen, for example, they work with natural gas. So the energy source to power these generators comes from the chemical energy that is derived from natural gas, right? That natural gas is used to turn the generators, to rotate these generators. The generators now have what we call kinetic energy. So the chemical energy from the gas has been converted to kinetic energy as the generator rotates, and then electrical energy, that kinetic energy, is now converted to electrical energy that we use. So the energy has just been converted from one form to the next. In this case, from chemical energy to kinetic energy to electrical energy. Of course, in the process, these generators are quite noisy, so they will also convert some of that energy to sound energy. This energy, of course, is lost but not destroyed. Wasted, yes, but not destroyed. And then, of course, the generator will get hot. And, of course, if it's hot, then certainly that heat is also being lost to the environment, right? So if you look at the energy changes taking place there are quite a number. We start with chemical, we convert to kinetic, to electrical, as well as some heat and some sound. All right. So none of the energy has been destroyed. All right. Now I know in biology and so on we have learned about photosynthesis. So let's look at the energy changes taking place as plants convert the sun's light, use the sun's light to produce food, produce vegetables and so on, right? So let's start. So the sun, of course, produces that light that comes to the earth. The plant takes this light energy, and during the process of photosynthesis, it actually uses the light energy to split the water molecules. In that process, produces glucose. Glucose, of course, is sugar, and you know sugar is an energy-giving type food. So now the light energy has now been converted into chemical energy that is stored in the bonds that have been used to make glucose. Then, of course, when you ingest or you take in the sugar, you eat something that has sugar in it, that sugar is now digested, right? Those bonds are broken, and energy is produced for your body. Your body then uses that energy to to move, for example, that's kinetic energy. To produce warmth, to produce heat, that's heat energy. And for all the other bodily processes. So that energy started from the sun in the form of light and eventually ended up in your food and then into your stomach as a result of different changes from different form to the next. All right, so that is basically what the law of conservation of energy is. So let's say that again. What is the law of conservation of energy? It says that energy cannot be created or destroyed, but can only be changed from one form to the next. Very often, a lot of people tend to think that that energy that is lost to the environment, like for example the heat from the bulb or the heat from the generator, right? That energy has been destroyed. No. Okay, it hasn't been destroyed. It has just been changed to heat and then been wasted in the environment. That heat in the environment, of course, contributes to the heating of our general environment as well. Not to the large extent that the sun heats the Earth's atmosphere, but it's not law. It is not destroyed. It has not been destroyed in any way. It's just been converted to different forms. So hopefully, at the end of this video, when you go through the summary and you go through the worksheet, you will have a better understanding. I also do have a YouTube video that I took from one of the TED Education website. Please look at it. It's a nice piece of animation that explains this even further. For those of us who have solar powered calculators, just on a side note, those little solar panels and so on, what they do is that they convert the sun's light into electrical energy. So it's just a matter of energy conversion, and that's what the law of conservation states. At the CSEC level, we do need to know the law of conservation of energy, and we also need to be able to identify the energy changes taking place within a system. When I say system, I mean maybe what's happening in a bulb or a generator or in a refrigerator or in a blender. For example, the household blender converts electrical energy into kinetic energy. The blades rotate and blend the seasoning and whatever it is that we use the blender for. So at this stage, this is what today's topic is. It's quite simple. I really hope that you can go through the assignment. It's easy. Don't be afraid of it. Do the assignment, and I'll post the answers at the end of the week. If there are any questions, feel free to email me. My email address is listed in the contact tab on the website. All right, so that's all for that's energy for today. We will continue with energy next week when we look at work done and the efficiency of machines and so on. But that's all for today. Thank you. Bye.